So good evening everybody and welcome back to FTRL. It is Thursday evening, which means it is time to let the GT2 racers entertain you. And we are here for week 5 of season 25, the halfway point, here at the beautiful Kyoto Yamagiwa circuit, which plays host to this week's endurance race. Second long endurance race of the season, following on from the week 2 one at St. Croix. Now, no qualifying tonight. It is reverse championship order deciding the grid. So the drivers will be getting prepped and we will be straight into the action shortly. What to expect tonight then? Well, as being an endurance race, 3 tyre compounds are available, soft, medium and hard. It cannot rain here at Kyoto, so there is no threat of rain. But each tyre compound must be used for a minimum of 5 laps. The race is 48 laps long, so expect quite a number of pit stops here, because also today was the new update that's come out, which has affected the handling of the cars and the tyre wear as well then. So it's going to be a bit of a step into the unknown for all the drivers. They spent 4 weeks getting used to their cars, and chances are they're all going to be very different feeling going into this week then. So plenty of uncertainty for GT2 tonight as they tiptoe out first and do all the sightseeing for GT1 tomorrow. In the chat already, good evening Biggles and Co. Viva in there as well, Derek. Welcome. James plays HD, hello. Simon as well. So I say early week testing gone out the window, absolutely. I've already seen some videos and some of the update looks a little bit sketchy, so hopefully Polyphonic can sort that out quickly. I don't have to worry about this week, so I'm not racing tomorrow, so it's fine. So while we wait for the lobby just to be set up again, because Mikey had forgot to put it on custom weather. Stupid boy. We'll run down the standings then in GT2. Last time out, we were at Alsace, and it was a double victory for FIBA, with Zach prevailing in race 3. No, what the hell? Goose, don't you start. Cats have been fed, cat is curled up with me on the beanbag. We're all good. Standings then. Leading the pro way in GT2 is FIBA. Double victory last week. He leads the way in the pro standings on 50 points and comfortably clear of FTRL Autism, aka Co-Andy, who is second for Tom and St. Mongs on 36. He's just ahead of Switchback, whose week got off to a eventful start last time out, where he got punted off in race 1 and had to fight from the back. He is third on 32 points. Then Royston and Jonesy, 4th and 5th in pro, on 25 and 17 respectively there, but we'll pick the order up of the overall. And it's Joe Burns then, who is newly promoted into GT2 full-time. Unfortunately, Super Hands has had to drop out for personal reasons, so he then leads the way. Johnny Boy alongside him on the front row. Jonesy and Max Def are together on row 2. Then it's Royston and Glyn on row 3. Nobby Norris and Zach on row 4. Andy and Goose on row 5, Zolman Odon row 6, Derek and Mikey on row 7, and FIBA on his own at the back, P15. 48 laps of racing, and we are go. And it's Joe Burns who will lead us down then into turn 1. Meanwhile, Jonesy already on the attack of Beach into turn 1. Johnny Boy's had to go wide there. Jonesy stuck his nose at the inside. The quick cars 1, 2 and 3. But already getting into each other through turn 1. Jonesy and Johnny Boy still side by side up through the S's for the first time. Johnny Boy hangs on for now. Jonesy, who had a torrid time last time out, now under threat from Max Def. He's looking for a way by, looks left, looks right again. Jonesy to the inside of Johnny Boy. Max Def's on the outside of him though. But now Jonesy fights back. They come off the corner side by side. Max should have the momentum around the outside, but Joe's got the inside for the chicane, but Max is already ahead then, so Max up to 3rd. Johnny Boy now looking for the lead. Royston now attacking Josie. Oh, and switch back up the inside. And into P5. Quick rundown then of the tyre situation then, of course. There are 3 compounds available, and Joe Burns on the hard tyres up front. Behind him is Johnny Boy on the mediums. 3rd is Max Def on the hards. Flashing the lights there. Switchbacks up the inside. He's on the medium tyres into 5th ahead of Jonesy, who starts on the softs. Despite being on the soft compound, going backwards at the moment. Royston in P6 on the medium tyres. Glyn is 7th on the hards. Andy in 8th place is on the hard tyre, as is Sir Goose in 9th. Nobby Norris on the hard in 10th. Zom is 11th, also on the hard tyres. It's hard tyres for Odon, for FIBA, for Mikey, who's on the grass already, and Derek as well. Oh, Mikey's having a moment. You're saying, how is he P2 in the championship? Well, Chitty Backstep in the pits then. He's doing a drive-through penalty. Some misdemeanors last week. So Joe Burns leading the way then on to lap 2. Johnny Boy still second. Zach is up to third though. Ahead of Jonesy. Side by side there was Andy on the grass in the background there. As he tucks in behind Goose and Glyn, who head up through the S's, nose to tail. We nearly had a 1-2-3 from Only Man's last week in race 1. Unfortunately, Glyn decided not to change tyres when he went into the pits. Cost him a run. He also got a belated penalty for a bit of a punterino at the start there. But, cleaner opening lap this time around. He's sat currently in P6, although Goose is looking a bit racy with him, alongside him. And we're going to engineer a swap. We are indeed. Through goes the Goose. Up front though, Johnny Boy now leads. Joe's had a bit of a moment, then here comes Zach as well. They're now side by side up the hill. And Josie's buying into this now as well. So Zach in amongst the quick fit cars. Josie's up to third, then Joe's shuffled back to fourth. So Josie finally making those soft tyres work. And Royston trying to buy into this now as well. Now Goose is also trying to close them down, having got ahead of his teammate. Switch back to go the long way around Johnny Boy, who's all over that curve on the inside. And that's going to hinder him on the exit. He squeezes Zach out to the outside, but Zach's held on. And Zach then will take the lead for the first time at the end of lap 2. And we know that Mazda is quick. It's got its time now. It has taken a slight hit on power as Jonesy goes up the inside of Johnny Boy into P2. So now he seems to have got a little bit comfortable on those soft tyres. He's now starting to make moves forward. Oh, he's on the curve there though. Can he do anything about switchback on those medium tyres? You can see already those soft tyres are taking an absolute hammering. And he has cleared Glyn, who's been shuffled back massively here. What's happening to Glyn? Indeed, he's had a drama somewhere. And he's all the way back to P14 with Mikey. With a spin somewhere we haven't seen. Max Def down to 13th, having served his drive-through. Robin Norris meanwhile has picked himself up a half-second penalty. He's now finding his way up to 10th. That's Subaru got a 61 kilo weight drop this week in that BOP update. 61 kilos. And about 5 horsepower more as well. So big changes to that Subaru. Good evening on sir. Welcome. And good evening Homer as well, and so keep making progress. Up to 10th now behind Zom, who we know is good in these endurance races. He's good looking after tyres. 81, it was 81 wasn't it? Yeah, of course it's 81 kg. Massive, massive weight. It's like losing me out of the passenger seat. Joe Burns looking up the inside of Odon, who sees and gives him a little bit of racing room. Odon's on the hard tyre as well. Joe Burns, of course, the FTRL Season 1 and 2 GT champion. Back on GT Sport. He's been away for a long time, so finding his feet in amongst these we're seasoned pros now. Odon been with us for about 4 seasons now. Speed in the background going around the outside of Zombie to the long left-hander. What a move that is. Championship leader making his way forward. He is 9 seconds though off of Switchback, who leads, but Switchback on the medium tyres, so expect there a slightly offset. There, so a little bit deep. He's dropped back behind there, and Andy's now up to 4th. Morrison's been shuffled back a couple of places. Goose is through as well. Now in 6th, and we've got this battle. Joe Burns and Odon still going at it. They've been at it all lap so far. Joe Burns is down the inside. Odon looking for a cutback. This is going to be St. Quad 2.0, it definitely is. People waiting for time from the back now. That's the hope anyway. He's picking his way through nicely into P9. He's on 10, Nobby Norris in 11. Now we know Nobby's partial to a good long race. He's had really strong results so far this season. Got 3rd place, of course, in the first endurance race at St. Croix. And then very nearly followed that up with the sort of mid-length endurance race at Daytona. Ended up 4th there, so another nice one to watch as well. Just keeping it nice and tidy so far. Still with this big pack. Derek just behind him. And there's Max in 13th, Glyn and Mikey squabbling over 14th place at the moment. Switchback then leading the way. 4.8 seconds to the good, but those medium tyres already taking a bit of a battering there. That front right-hand tyre, which is going to get worked quite hard through this kind of corner. You've got lots of long, sweeping corners that really load up the right side tyres. And that Mazda there working its front right quite hard so far. We'll just touch on the overall standings then, coming to this week then, and Fever is leading the way on 160 points, comfortably in the lead from Mikey in second, as we touched on earlier there, on 116. Third is Derek on 111.5, with Odon in fourth on 109. Zom is a P5 on 108.5, with Sagoose now in P6 on 105. He's just ahead of Andy on 104, and then Switchback on 103.5. Who's currently on screen. So, battling the Goose now up to third. Just touched on there. Nobby Norris is P9 on 97 points, tied with Glyn, who's also on 97. Then we've got Super Hands, which will now be Joe Burns on 84.5. Although Joe Burns was starting 0 in the overall standings. Royston is 12th on 70. Max Def on 52 in 13th. Jonesy in 14th on 43, with Beach in 15th on 31. That's how the individual drivers' standings are coming into this week. Which decided the grid. As Royston then gets ahead of Andy, who just served his penalty. So the BMW changing place. So the BMW got no changes this week in the BOP update. So no weight lost or gain, no power lost, weight or gain. So that car is as you were, apart from those like handling differentials. So let's look at the tyre wear situation then. That's that Mazda. Good on fuel, so he's got half a tank still, more than. But that front right tyre is looking a little bit angry already. Johnny Bull behind him, equal on fuel, but better on his tyres so far. Also on the mediums, so that massive weight loss that the Subaru's had, being a big help there for Johnny Boy, who's now comfortably in P2 as well. So Johnny Boy going really well so far. Goose third on the hard tyres. Now, that's not looking too bad. I mean, it's quite a lot of wear for 6 laps on a hard tyre, but Lamborghini does like to eat his rear tyres at the minute. Not looking too bad. A bit of a slide there, but he's bang on half this. He's a little bit worse on field. Oh, Johnny Boy! Oh, the curse of the commentator struck immediately, and I'm so sorry. Saying he's going really well and really comfortably in P2, and as the drivers go round, there he is sideways on the track. So the curse is real. So Goose up to second, Royston up to third. Joe Burns is back into 4th place now. Also on those hard tyres. That Merc isn't doing too bad actually on that front right tyre. Better than some of the cars around him. And he's pretty good. Goose is in, meanwhile, so Goose is in. And he's getting off that hard tyre early then, so interesting strategy there from Goose. He's going to be doing more stops on quicker tyres. We shall see then. That's promoted down to 4th. Fever now 5th. So Fever making his way through. Looking good on fuel, better than Andy. Ahead of him. So Fever in a strong place and Odon going well. Tyres looking good. About half tank of fuel. Derek in 7th. That front right looking a little bit worse than some of the cars around him. Doing well on fuel. And Johnny Boy there, who's just had that moment. Oh, he's had a big slide. Oh, it's all gone wrong for Johnny Boy. Pirouetting down the track, and he's all the way down to 14th place there. Oh, big shame. Big shame there. Johnny Boy race was going so well. So Zach then leading the way, but look at how that tyre now, that front right tyre is very, very angry. So the Mazda, which has not been too badly. Look at how Biggles has been getting on in GT1. Some superb tyre management, but that is very angry. But remember, Zach is just pushing hard. He's got the fastest lap currently. I mean, Zach's here in the pie saying his mum makes shit paella. In Spanish, I hope. Yeah. So that then carries on though. I reckon we've got another couple of laps in that tyre. Just he has the fastest lap of the race at a 34.3. Rushton's best is currently a 36.9, but on a different. He's on the same compound tyre, isn't he? Yeah. So switchback considerably quicker. A minute then. Tyres a little bit worse at Joe Burns. Also just on his personal best then, 36.5. And he was 37 flat. Fever 36.8. So we got some of the medium tyres. Let's give a comparable lap time really, at least with the medium tyres. We've got Johnny Boy did a 36.3. He's just come out the pits. I haven't really got anybody to compare with at the minute then. As Max definitely taking a sweeping line around the outside of turn 1 there, but cuts back across the nose of Mikey, who's looking to try and make up some ground after that opening lap spin. His tyres looking not too bad, to be fair. However, that Renault ahead of him significantly better. Into that long sleepy. Oh, contact there! Oh, dearie me. Very nearly a big moment there. They'll get away with it. I think Zom had a bit of a drama as well. He's going well on his tyres. Goose then has pitted. He's now out on the soft tyre. So Goose is getting the soft tyre out of the way now. These tyres are really burning up quickly. Look at this. Bearing in mind, this is his second lap on these soft tyres. Look at how much wear there is already. Soft tyres then are not lasting very long anymore. What, we're on times 4? I think we're on times 4 tyre wear there. Glyn, they're going to let him go. Good teamwork again there from the early man's boys, straight onto the back of Nobby Norris, who's in 8th. Going well though, good on fuel, good on tyres. He's probably going to feature later in this one again. Derek in 7th. Okay, then Odon in 6th, then Fever still in 5th, just on the back of Royston, who's now on the back of Andy, who's on the back of Joe Burns. So these three are nose to tail. As they head into turn 1, Royston up the inside of Andy. But Andy sweeps around the outside, holds position then. Meanwhile, up front then, Zach continues on his way, but that front right tyre is about done, so he might be in this time around. Still lapping quicker than the cars behind him. Fever now very much in this battle. In fact, he's going around the outside again. We've seen this move already once tonight. And he wraps up Royston as well. What a move from Fever. He's up to 4th. He's looking at the inside of Andy as well as they come off the hairpin. Andy holds on though. And he now is attacking Joe Burns, and Odon's buying into this now and attacking Royston. On the brakes into the chicane, through he goes. Good move from Odon. Joe Burns has run a little bit deep there. Andy's trying to find a way through, but there's a Mercedes SLS in his way. And Fever's going to take the opportunity here. Gets up alongside Andy up the hill. He's got the inside for the hairpin, but Andy will brake late. Trying to hang on around the outside. Fever's still up the inside. They're still side by side. Andy's going to try and sweep off the corner. Fever gives him the racing room. They're still side by side, and Andy hangs on. Great racing from those two. Side by side. Through several corners. And Andy hanging on. Switchback is carried on. That time's dropping away into the 36s this time around. Probably still quicker than the guys behind him. He's got Tortoise on the hair at the minute. There is Switchback. Who's been told about his mum's shit paella. The tyres also absolutely done. So 10 laps seems to be the absolute max you can get out of those medium tyres on a full tank anyway. I think maybe those guys to run them a little bit later on might get a little bit more out of them with maybe 3/4 of a tank. Might get a 10 lap. Will Royston's off the track there. That tyre started to cause him problems as Fever wraps up Andy this time. Before they get to the hairpin, he's open to 3rd and straight onto the back of Joe Burns. Oh, look at the run he's had off the hairpin, and through he goes. Fever up to P2. Zach has no front right tyre left. Seems struggling. Let's see what his split time is down to his best. 34.3 is his best time. Oh, he's 6 seconds. I think he's off somewhere. I think Zach's been off somewhere here. He's 6 seconds down. He has lost some of his lead then, so yeah, Zach has maybe gone a lap too long here. You can see how much he's struggling to get that car turned into left-handers. Oh, and Joe Burns has come back at Fever. Fever flashing the lights. Was that a forceful move into the hairpin? Lights ablaze now on that Subaru. Andy kicking up some grass. Switchback is in from the race lead then, so race leader is in. But how much time has he lost though? He's lost more time through that final corner as well. So Zach there has lost a good 6 seconds maybe of lead there with a mistake somewhere on that lap. Yeah, talking about punches in that now, aren't they, with the new tyre model? you can't really run the tyres all the way to the bottom now. As that was Derek is in then, as is Royston. I expected Royston Zomlar in as well, then so is Zom in, interestingly. So Joe Burns lead from Andy from Fever. Odon clinging onto their coattails. Oh, Fever's up the inside of Andy into the hairpin. He's been with. Oh, Joe Burns is wide and Fever's going to go through both of them. Joe Burns there a little bit deep into the hairpin, just about got it stopped and turned, but Andy couldn't find a way through. Fever took full advantage and retakes the lead, and Odon's right with them again. So, lap after taking what was P2. However, Joe Burns is coming back at him again. That Mercedes is powerful up the hill. Fever covers the inside, does he? Joe Burns looking around the outside this time. No dramas this time. Andy now all over Joe as well. So Joe's looking at the back of Fever, but looking in his mirrors. And that purple, but BMW as well. I go on through the chicane there, red line flashing for Joe Burns. Are we going to see a pit stop this time from the car in P2? Purple Mercedes very much in the mirror. Looks like Joe Burns is in, is he? He is indeed. Fever carries on, and he's in as well. Then Odon's carried on then, so Goose is in as well, getting off of those soft tyres. Yeah, just 37 flat that time around, so those tyres are very much gone. Glyn's in as well, so Zach will come around. Zach's now on the mediums again, so double medium stint then from switchback to start. Now we saw at St. Croix, he was very much the hare early on, used the soft tyres, finished on the hards, while Fever went the other way and caught and passed him in that final stint. So what lessons has Zach learned from that? Nobby Norris up into third, so once again going about his business nicely. Still got a quarter of a tank of fuel as well, so Nobby, I suggest, is in maybe fuel mode 2. I'll stretch out his stints as long as he can do. Fuel wise he's better than Odon, who's on the red line, and Fever's not far away, so Fever's just under a quarter of a tank as well, so Fever doing a really good job on fuel. De Kaiser leads this one. What have Joe and Andy come out on? Let's have a look then. Joe Burns is out on the hard tyre again. No, he's on the... Yeah, Joe Burns on the hard tyre again. Andy, meanwhile, is on the hard as well. So double hard stint then from Andy and Joe Burns. Glyn is on the softs now, so he's racy. That's Goose on. Goose is on the mediums, so he's now done his tyres allocation, so he can now pick and choose as he wishes for the rest of the race. Now Glyn is on the attack on those soft tyres. He'll want to clear Joe Burns as soon as he can. He's up the inside. That should be a fairly straightforward move, and it is. Oh, so Goose trying to get the inside of Andy, but sliding the rear of that Lamborghini, but he's still got the traction. Andy fights back. They go side by side through that. God, they're into this S's. Can they both survive the do? Good respect given. These two had a great battle at Daytona in both races in week 3. So Goose, though, on medium tyres at the moment. Good job, Johnny Boy and Odon are in. So Odon is in because he was out of fuel. He's now out on the medium tyres. Johnny Boy is getting off of his medium tyres. Fuel going in. We'll keep an eye on what he comes out on then. Back to the 4. Fever leads. Hard tyres. He's just at his personal best fastest lap then. So Fever's lap times going around a little bit. 36s, 37s. He's been in some battles though, but now he's got some clear air. And he's on trouble. 13 seconds in the lead. Zach now back in the 34s. 34.9. He has just cleared Nobby Norris. He's lapping very consistently again there, apart from that 5 of 41.7. And all in 38s, now into the 37. So Nobby Norris is becoming the model of consistency this season. And anybody who's watched Nobby Norris over the seasons know that's not the Nobby Norris a lot of us know. It's great to see the improvement from him so far this season. Long may it continue, Derek. In a bit of a lonely P4 now on those soft tyres. This is his 3rd lap, so yeah, soft tyres are not lasting long anymore. Glyn on his soft tyres and has cleared Joe Burns. Goose has now passed as well. So we've got different strategies going on. People are filling the tank, so on the hard tyres, Joe Burns and Andy have filled the tank. They're going to try and do less pit stops. But bear in mind, Goose has done 2 stops. They've done 1, and he is ahead of them. So perhaps that is not the way. But we shall see. All the strategies will converge in about 35's lap time. C2 have resumed their battle. Joe Burns leading, Andy, who's get about to move into turn 1 in the slipstream, but not close enough. Jonesy 9th. He's on the medium tyre at the moment. And for the most part, has been pointing the right way so far, so improvement from last week for Jonesy. It's good to see. Odom behind him in 10th. He's on the medium tyre now. There's Zom in 11th. He's on the softs. And Mikey behind him in the other Peugeot. He is on the mediums now. He's done his stop only half a tank, interestingly. Odom has now caught Jonesy. Get a good run there off the hairpin. Off that long sweeping left-hander to the inside as they come down to the S's. But no way through. And these guys is Royston in 13th on the hard tyre. Max Def on the mediums. Closing in. Johnny Boy on the medium tyres. Big shame after that early spin from him. Fever in then, so race leader is in at the end of lap 14. Switchback then will come through and take the lead of the race then as he starts lap 15 there. So Fever with a 14 lap stint. Nobby Norris, however, is carrying on, so Nobby Norris has got at least 1 more, if not 2 more laps in that tank. So Nobby Norris going deep into this one. But with the tyre situation, I think it's going to have to be at least a 3-stopper for him. We shall see. Derek through to 3rd, Glyn now 4th, Goose 5th, Fever on his way out. He's going to come out just behind Joe Burns and Andy. He's going to come out in the middle of them, is he? Yeah, he's going to come out ahead of Andy, so he's dropped off the back of Joe a little bit. Fever drops into the middle now on the medium tyre. So Joe and Andy have double stinted hards. Oh, well, they've gone back onto the hard. They haven't double stinted the same tyres. Yeah, no, Fever then now on the medium tyres, so let's see what he can do now. Update then, so Auto Trader leading the way from a bunch of tools in seconds. It's Tom and some Mongs in 3rd, then Only Man's 4th and 5th. So Quick Fit in 6th, with the 3rd Only Man's car in 7th. Then it's another Tom and some Mongs cars in 8th. Auto Trader in 9th. It's a bunch of tools in 10th. Tom and some Mongs in 11th. A bunch of tools in 12th. Auto Trader in 13th. Quick Fit in 14th. And Quick Fit in 15th then with Jonesy, who's just pitted and is now on the hards. So Switchback leads by 9.4 seconds at the moment over Nobby Norris, who is going to do 1 more lap. That is a superb stint from Nobby Norris. He's going to get 16 laps out of those tyres and that fuel tank. Solid pace from Nobby. Probably not going to trouble for the win. But podium is not out of the question once again for him there. Derek also going well in 3rd. Goose has gone past Glyn. Soft tyres are maybe past their best a little bit now, so Glyn might be in this time around, but doing a really good job in P5. Best strategy. Who is the best, do we think? Well, I mean, it's when you're out front by 10 seconds, it's always a good place to be. So Zach is in contention, and I definitely think you can't rule out Feber. I do think once again it's going to come down to between those 2 for the win. For 3rd is a good question. I think Nobby, Derek, Goose, Joe and Andy are in the mixer. Odom maybe as well. Oh, Mikey's off on the outside there. He's gone in a little bit hot to the hairpin. And Odom takes the place back. He goes up to 9th then. Mikey down to 10th. Who was that in? That's Zom in. Meanwhile, off of the soft tyres. Onto the mediums he goes then. So that's his tyres allocation completed. He now has a free choice for the remainder of the race. Zach, though, has just so far run medium tyres, so he's still got softs and he's still got hards to use. His lead is 12 seconds though. Meanwhile, Feber is 26 off. So we're now starting to have a look at their lap times then. So Switchback was a 35.2. Feber, that was his out lap, so this is the lap then we'll see what kind of pace Feber's got relative to Zach. Derek and Nobby in then. What a stint from Norris. Derek in as well, getting off those hard tyres, so through goes Sagoose. Glyn's going to pit as well, so that will release Fever to clear air, and he is doing 36.5, so 35.2. He's a 36.5, so at the minute Zach is quicker, but Zach's on less fuel. Oh, sliding near the rear of that car. As Andy and Joe swap places then, Andy has wrapped him up. Coming out of turn 1. These two in together for a good portion of this race now. Good battling between two stalwarts of FTRL. These guys have been here forever. Well, I've been here since day dot. Joe went away, but he's back. Could not resist the allure of the FTRL. Odon now in a lonely P6, 3 seconds behind Joe and Andy, who he was battling with before. So let's see if he can get back on in touch with them. He's on the medium tyre, so he should be quicker than the guys ahead of him. He's 37.1 last time around, plus 37.1 for Andy and a 37.7 for Joe. So lapping about the same sort of pace, but he did a 36 flat than that before. So I would suggest there was a drama in there somewhere. He was also battling with Mikey, who is now slipped back behind Max Def as well. So Mikey, having done the fastest lap of the race, his personal fastest lap of the race, so 35.5 on lap 15, is now on the grass again. And did a 37.4 the lap following. So Mikey's lap time is yo-yoing about a bit. He's done a 37.6, then a 35.6, a 37.2, a 35.5 and a 37.4. So 2 second lap delta difference per lap at the minute. So Mikey is being consistently inconsistent at the moment. Let's see what this one's going to be. Well, he's had an off this lap because he's 37 already. Yeah, this has not been a good lap for Mikey. He's had an off somewhere. 44.5 that time around there, so a big off somewhere for Mikey. He's in behind Max. He was battling with Max's teammate Odon, who's here, so that's how much time he's lost. Odon trying to close in, 35.9 that time from Odon. Here's a 36.9 for Joe Burns and a 36.5 for Andy. Fever's just done a 35.2. However, Andy and Joe seem closer. I think Fever's maybe been off somewhere in the early part of this lap. Yeah, he's 3 seconds down, so Fever's been off. So I've done a lap quicker, only a couple of tenths quicker than Zach. He's now given Zach 3 seconds. And it's the Goose who's giving chase at the minute. And slightly worn medium tyres. How's Zach's tyres? Worse than Goose's at the minute. So yeah, Fever wide at turn 1. So it's just sent it a little bit too hard there. Back into the groove there. Andy running a little bit wide down the exit curb. He invigorated his challenge there. Now he's got Fever back in front of him then, so trying to chase him down. And Jerry Burns are right with him again. These two have just been inseparable. It's like a piece of string just pulling them along together. Behind the Odon is closing down now. So look at the lap time this time around. With 38.4, 37.3 for Andy, 37.1 for Joe, so a couple of tenths quicker. And a 36.5 for Odon then, so Odon is closing in again. So he's got the hammer down again now. Norris now on the medium tyres. 36.4, his personal best of the race so far. Tim Mikey in 8 just behind him. And then Royston, so the 3 bunch of tools cars all together. 7th, 8th and 9th. Got Max in 10th. Also very much in touch. Then Glyn, who's now on the mediums, so that's his tyre allocation done. Johnny was up to 12th. Derek just behind him. Johnny's on the mediums. Derek is on the mediums as well. Jonesy in 14th. He's now on the hard. Well, he's on the hard tyre still. So the 36s. So there's some damage to the front of that car though. So there's been some war contact from Jonesy somewhere. Zom was just pitted. Lap time 2:18.7 seems like a long lap time. I think it's almost had it off somewhere. So I wasn't expecting to be that far down. So 2:18.7 on possibly his in lap would suggest an off somewhere for him then. But Zach meanwhile leads. 37.8 from him last time around then. So you can see his lap time is consistent at the minute. 32, 35.2, 35.4, 35.7, 35.8. So comfortable lap times. Goose is in from P2, so through goes Fever. 37.3 from him. So not quite back into his rhythm yet. And he's still hanging on resolutely on those hard tyres as well. Mikey's in as well. Joe Burns has dropped back a little bit from Andy and is now back towards Odon, who is continuing to close. 38.8 from Joe Burns, and 36.9 from Andy. So yeah, Joe Burns had made a mistake somewhere on that lap. He's dropped back his tyre wear's also quite a bit worse on that front right tyre. Look, that Mercedes is just working that front right a little bit harder. The hard tyre, and here comes that medium shod Renault RS01. Run down the hill. It's about a move. He isn't close enough this time. They'll sit in for now. Wait for his opportunity up the hill, though. That Mercedes we saw earlier in the race was really powerful up this hill. You can see in there pulling away, even with the draft there. That Mercedes pulling away from the Renault. To get back into the technical twisty stuff, this is where that Renault will come into its own. So have to take all that time back again. Nobby Norris going well in P6. He's in contention. Nobby Norris is definitely in contention for a podium again. A different strategy to everybody else. He's managing his tyres and fuel well. Trying to run long. He's going to do probably less pit stops than everybody else. We'll expect maybe a double medium stint from him and a little run on the softs, but we shall see. Yeah, he could be the one outside of a P3. Hold on, Joe. Andy also can't be counted out. Nor can Sir Goose. Exactly, there is 30 seconds into 36s, so is he going to try and do what he did last time around? Try and get 11 laps out of these tyres? I would think not. No, he did 10 laps, didn't he? He did 10 laps before, so he's got 11 this time. That front right is done. See him being very careful there around that left-hander. That front right tyre is not playing ball. See that car struggling with understeer there through that. You can see him there as well. Look how cautious he's having to be. It's pedestrian. And that right tyre does not want to play ball. Into the final corner. Expect to see him peel off to the left here. He matched him last time around. So switchback is in. Advantage Zach though at the moment. Fever has not even made it to the final corner. What tyres is it going to be for Zach this time around? The part felt he might even come out in the lead still here. I think Fever and Andy are going to go through, but he's not going to be far behind. He's out, and he's out on the hard tyres, and so Zach is now doing his hard tyre stint. Ooh, Andy coming by. Zach sees him. So switchback is taking his pain and doing the hard tyres. He's filled the tank this time as well, so expect a long stint here from him. Joe Burns appears to have pitted. Yep, Joe Burns is in. And he's on his way, and he is on the hard tyre again. Joe Burns on a third set of hard tyres, and this is, I mean, this new tyre model, this is unheard of FTRL there. I've never seen anybody triple stint the hard tyres. At any point, anybody would have been using the mediums, but Joe Burns on the hards. Ranking 12th, almost 13th. Setting back into a rhythm again. His personal best on lap 18, 36.1. Max is 14th, and Jonesy is in the pits, getting off of those hard tyres for a new set of hard tyres. So there we go then. Fever then is your race leader. Switchback has got ahead then of Andy. Well, this time looking very second hand. He's got a lap longer than Joe Burns this time though. Has he got one more lap in the tank? He does. Another 2-lap offset freshness. We got late to Joe Burns. Oh, Zach sliding. He's on the grass. Oh, well, big moment there for switchback. Is Andy going to get back ahead of him? He is. Up the S's they go, and Andy retakes P2. It's like they got on the inside curve at turn 1. The car had a big old slide. Immediately fires back though, up the inside then into the long left-hander. And they're trying to fight back around the outside, but the freshness of those tyres on that Mazda just telling, I think, there. Well, Randy's not finished. They try and get that position back in the braking zone for the chicane. He's right there. Oh, he's giving him a little love tap. He was close to. Still nose to tail as they come out, then up the hill we go. He's had a good run up the hill there. He's in the slipstream. Does Zach have to go defensive? He doesn't, and Andy sends it down the inside. Can he get it stopped and turned? He's through. Zach's trying to switch back. They're going to come together off the exit. And he's got the inside then for the right-hander. Zach's going to try and tough it around the outside, though he does. They get into the left-hander. They're still side by side. Just about getting it stopped and giving each other room there. Good driving from the pair of them again. Andy just about keeps it off the grass. Falls back behind. Good battling once again. Very respectful racing from those two. Andy will peel off this time into the pits. In he goes. Lever then leading the way. 36.8 then, so not in the 35s. Zach doing 34s. So, in a minute, it does appear to be advantage switchback. Udon now in P3, going really well. Nobby in P4, again, outsider. Keep an eye on Nobby Norris later in this race. Got 16 laps out of his hard tyres early on. Medium tyres wearing a little bit harder. And that Mitsubishi got quite a bit of weight on this week. Goose finds his way back up to P5 meanwhile, and he's on the charge. Look at him in the 35s, 35 flat, 35 4, 35 9, 35 7 on lap 15. So Goose is flying at this stage of the race. Glenn's also come back through into 6th as the pit strategies shake up again. Derek's now 7th. Johnny Boy up to 8th, having started so well, and we just saw him capitulate in a couple of laps. That's the curse of the commentator struck there. And he's come out in 9th, just ahead of Joe Burns once again, and these two cannot escape each other. So that's the undercut there didn't work out for Joe Burns, but he has brought him back onto Andy's tail critically, because he had fallen away a little bit just before the pit stops. Both of them again on the hard tyres, so yeah, triple sneak the hard tyres there. The tyre wear then around the circuit with these a lot of long left-hand corners. There's another one of these hairpins. It's a bit of a slow one, so it probably doesn't work the tyres quite so much there. And he gets the rear end slightly out of shape as he gets the power down. Like in 11th, his traditional position Zom is going to be in this time around because that front right tyre is dead. Washington P13, Max in 14th, James in 15th. So, want to find Mr. Joe Burns because we go on board with the lap, and I think that Mercedes engine. Something we all need to enjoy then. So this is a lap then of Kyoto Yamagiwa. Do you know what? We'll do it inside of this. Enjoy. Stuttgart's finest V8 Symphony, taking us on a lap of Kyoto. As he chases down. Still, that BMW. And Mikey in the background is also coming back into contention with these guys, though his tyre wear. So he will be stopping not too distant future. Nobby Norris has just pitted. He's back out on the medium tyres, as we expected. And he's gone for just over a half a tank then, so Nobby Norris maybe going for a push stint here. 35.6 on lap 19, his best lap of the race, so Nobby Norris outsider for the podium here again. We've only just gone over half race distance, so a long way to go in that one. What's going on up front then? What's going on up front is that Zach is catching Fever. So Fever, despite being on medium tyres, is he just trying to minimise his pit stops then? Zach's actually going fast. Zach doing 35.8 then on the hard tyre, so that Mazda is working very well around here. Which bodes well for Biggles and Tom Duval tomorrow. Even on the hard tyre, that Mazda is lapping quicker than Fever ahead of him on the mediums now. Maybe Fever is just looking after those tyres with a lap number in mind. Yeah, I think it is between these two. These two for the win, I feel. So Goose doing well in P3. Smashes off that curve, smashes into the barrier there. Bit of a moment. A bit of understeer there with a bit of wear, but he survives. 17 seconds behind Zach, but 12 seconds ahead of Derek, who's in fourth. And with also quite a lot of wear on that front right tyre. And he seems to have just about got the measure of Jay Burns now. Manages to drop him again. so he's giving you some hope. I think being an excellent driver should give you some hope on safe. Monkey is closing in, but that front right tyre is about to let go. So I expect to see that Peugeot peel off at the end of this lap. 34.7 then, so Mikey's found some pace on this stint. That's the bit in the 35s. So where might he have been without those early spins? He'll be in 8th then with Odon closing him down. Odon on the soft tyres then, so let's see what the Renault can do with the super sticky boots on. Although we know he's on the medium tyres. So Odon, another one then outside it for a podium. In comes the Goose from 3rd. Glynn is out on the medium tyres, so I imagine they'll probably just use those to the finish. Then we've got Royston battling with Johnny Boy. Medium tyres on that one. Medium tyres on both cars. The boys are a little bit better nick at this stage of the race, so let's keep it on this battle for a minute. Got Max Deff in the background as well. Flash of the lights there from Johnny Boy. The lights are ablaze. Monkey's in as expected as well. He's going to get out just ahead of these guys though. He's on his way. They might catch him on the run of turn 1. Out comes Mikey. Royston goes by. And Johnny Boy. Oh, Johnny Boy got spooked a little bit there. Nearly runs off on the outside of 1. Stops himself just in the nick of time. Mikey has stayed ahead of Royston then. Mikey on the medium tyres. So is Royston. So up through the S's we go then. Mikey will be really hoping to stay ahead then as Fever pits then from the lead. Johnny Boy looking up the inside of Royston into the hairpin. Royston's gone tight but then run a little bit wide. Johnny Boy looks up the inside. Royston sweeps back to the apex though, holding him off. They're going to plunge down the hill now. He's gone board with the Subaru. Just to the inside, just trying to show in the mirrors though. And they distract. So up the hill we go. Derek is in as well meanwhile. Fever back out in P2 on those medium tyres. And he's going to close right up, but I think Fever should stay ahead of him. Into the chicane we go. Oh, Mikey's round! Oh, Mikey's fresh at the pits and has spun coming out of the chicane. Just as he was threatening to get back in touch for a good result, he has had another drama. He drops back behind Max Def as well. Wilson has just managed to edge away from Johnny in that final sector. Glynn's in the pits as well. I know, right? Josie in 14th and is about to suffer the ignominy of being lapped by the race leader on lap 28. Just not been Zom's night, unfortunately. Zom usually goes well in these endurance races. We know he's good on looking after tyres and fuel, very similar to what Nobby Norris is doing, but he's having some dramas off screen. We've seen him a lap down already and off the back of the pack, so not been Zom's night, unfortunately. Fever is back out on the medium tyre, as we mentioned. Yeah, he stayed ahead of Andy. Will be critical then for his race, and lights are ablaze. So what he can do now is up to speed and running. Andy then is now also entering the conversation for that final step of the podium, maybe even more. Still got the medium tyres to use, of course. We've not really seen the best of Andy so far. Now I imagine his next stop he will take either the medium or the softs. Still has to use both of them. So far has used neither. It's been hards all the way, and he's always hard. Joe Burns. Apparently Zach is in the party going, "Oh, this is my least favourite part of the race, the lapping people." Joe Burns, Nobby Norris, Sir Goose, nose to tail as they come down the hill then. This is for 4th, Sir Goose to the inside, Nobby always 3 wide into the braking zone, Goose is down the inside, there's a bit of side-to-side contact with Nobby Norris. They all survive though. Joe Burns escapes. We know he's just going hell for leather. 34.7 is a very quick lap once again from him. That's what's brought him into this group. Then Nobby Norris, meanwhile, is just quietly going about his business. So Burns peels off then, so Burns is in. Out of P4. Odon is in as well. That soft tyre has not lasted him very long. Was that 6 laps? 5 laps, yeah. That soft tyre is just not lasting anymore. That tyre is just dying a death. Very quickly then, Derek coming around then, he will... Well, you say that, unsafe, but Phoebe's got to use the... yeah. Potentially so. We'll also see. Well, we'll see how your girl math is. Zach's got 2 handbags and 3 apples. How many donkeys does it take to play cricket? Answers on a postcard, please. So Zach with a 35.8. Well, Fever's last lap was a 36.1, so Zach is lapping quicker than Fever on the hard tyres, Fever on the mediums. Now Fever's on a full tank of fuel. Zach's fuel is now less than a quarter of a tank, but Zach is playing very much a strong hand in this one. Like Finso said, he will have at least one more stop to make, but he's got the soft tyres to use as well. And they're not going to last him very long, so yeah, definitely 2 stops for Zach. Fever only needs to necessarily make 1. The gap is 34 seconds, which is about a pit stop. So Fever needs to get a hurry on. And he's also very much in conversation here. Trying to chasing down. Again, 34.7 from him there. Look at the thousandths, like 2 laps there within a thousandth of a second. So Goose is pushing hard. The Lamborghini doing alright so far. Good news for Mr. Unsafe for this. And also Mr. Jadon as well. We'll be piloting it tomorrow. Norris there. The scenic route around the long left there. Not troubling the apex, but comfortable gap behind, who's 21 seconds up on Derek. So Nobby Norris is in a very strong position here. I'd say he's very much in for a top 5 here, but still to use the soft tyres, of course. So he's probably got 2 stops to make. Joe Burns is finally on something other than a hard tyre. So Joe Burns is now on the mediums. Oh, behind them that's Johnny Boy and Royston. They've resumed battle, and Johnny Boy's up the inside and through. At the long left, good move. Odon took it in behind them as well. He's on the hard tyres now. These two have been battling for lap after lap. And of course, he's got his rhythm back now. There's even potential here for a solid result. Top 10, maybe a top 8. We've got Odon and Glynn, who've not long pitted. A little bit out of sequence. Macbeth is in a bit of no man's land at the minute. Let's keep an eye on him. And that's golf teacher, golf caddy. And now a new father as well. So, now he loves some TV time, so we'll stay on board with him. Let him soak up the adulation. Royston is in, so that battle with Johnny Boy is over for the time being. Here goes Glynn. Max will come through as well. Yeah, he definitely knows he's on. Definitely knows he's on screen. Don't worry, Max, the cats have been fed. And Switchback is in now as well, so race leader is in. Now, what tyres has he put on? So he puts on the soft tyres. This might be a very short fill. So let's see how long he's stationary for. It's a short stop. Is it the soft tyre? It is. So Zach is getting his soft tyre stint done now, which means he's going to need to put the mediums on. And there's Phoebe in the background. And it's advantage Switchback. Because he's now on the quickest tyre. He will just be pushing and then switching to the mediums. Phoebo's got to look after these tyres for a little bit. Phoebe just hasn't had the pace to match Switchback today. So let's see what he can do on the soft tyre now. Andy and Goose are battling again. Goose should get alongside up the S's. That's brave. He thinks better of it. Waits for a better opportunity than up the hill in the slipstream. And he's on the hards, he'll be in this time around, so Goose doesn't need to force this. And we'll get that position shortly anyway. And he's a little bit wide though, Goose is looking up the inside. And he cuts the nose off him though. Goose has to lift, and he's wide though on the exit, out on the grass. And that'll be Goose's moment, and through he goes. So Andy will be in this time around, he'll finally get rid of the hard tyres. It's been good pace from Andy there, 36 is constantly, look at that. Model of consistency there. 36.4, 36.1, 36.4, 36.7, 36.6, 36.9, 36.6, 36.9, 36.6. Absolute metronomic from Mr. Andy Coe. The hardest racer and racist that I know. The Goose there wide, and Andy gets the position back. However, he will be peeling off into the pits, so it will be short gained. And in he goes. So then, is it medium tyres for Andy, or does he do his soft stint now as well? Where is Joe Burns? Because this is where we need to be looking. Nobby Norris is in as well. There's going to be another set of mediums for him. Obviously, to do his soft stint now. The tyres have been changed then. Andy's away, soft tyres for him then. Where is Joe Burns? He is coming out the final corner, so yeah, Andy is now well clear. And he's rejoined just ahead of his teammate as well, so Andy enters the chat for P3. Maybe more. So that's one stop to make though, so does Fever. So does Zach. Zach's lead is 14 seconds. And he's half a second purple. Coming into the final sector. So unless Aaron gets his wish and is a spin, it does look like Switchback is the man to beat in this one. He's a little bit wide there. He's going for a late apex, is he? So 33.5 from Switchback then. That is very, very quick. He's just smashed the fastest lap by about 0.8 of a second there, I believe. Fever's lap times are being consistent. He's giving similar lap times that some of the guys behind him on hards have been doing. So Goose is in. Let's have a look what Andy can do now. Of course, I don't necessarily think P3 could be all he's aiming at here. I think P2 he might be in the offing. He's on his out lap, so it won't be a representative lap. Derek also with the 35s on the medium tyres. So yeah, Derek is doing more 35s than Fever at the moment. Comes to Goose out the pits. He's on the softs. We've got 13 laps to go. Yeah, I'll probably do 4 or 5 on the softs and then finish on the mediums. He burns a 6. That medium tyre is dying a death already though. Yeah, medium tyre on that Mercedes is not lasting. He pitted on lap 30, look. On lap 36 and that thing is gone. And he still needs to run the soft tyre as well then, so he burns, that's a predicament. And Johnny Boy, well now he's up in 7th. He's got Nobby Norris just behind him, who is out on a fresh set of mediums, so he's doing his another medium stint, then he'll finish on the softs. And there's Glyn and Odon in the background then, Glyn on the mediums, Odon on the hards, but he's going well. 35.9 then on the hard tyre, that's fairly impressive pace there from Odon. He's going well around here. Just lose out on the power sections here, for example, with the Nissan, for example. The Mercedes we saw earlier as well, big powerful cars just dragging themselves up the hill. But then getting into the twisty stuff here, Glyn has a bit of a slide. Johnny Boy, look at the inside of Nobby Norris. He'll be in the pits this time around, so... Oh, Johnny Boy! Oh, he doesn't want to go to the pits. Almost threw it away there, but gathers it up. Carries on his merry way then. Joe Burns is wide at turn 1. That front right is gone. And he's doing another lap. This will be an interesting lap then for Joe Burns. Let's see how bad the struggle is. Oh, he's off the grass. Nobby Norris is going to round him up before they get to this long left-hander and that right side tyre. Is he going to have anything to turn in? Oh my word, look at the understeer. Through goes Glyn, through goes Odom. Joe's run that car one lap too many, I think. You can't make these, you can't drive on a dead tyre anymore. Can't drive on a dead tyre anymore. He's struggling to get it turned in. Oh dearie me, big old shake of the head there. Mercedes has had enough of that tyre. Oh my word, look at how much he is struggling to get that car turned. Seven seconds down on this lap there. That is a huge drop off then. The cliff is massive now, this new tyre model. That's quarter then. Thankfully it's working the front left, so it won't be quite so bad for him. He will peel off into the pits this time. that one is probably down to the cords, that one. Goose has passed Derek and is chasing down Andy once again. Meanwhile, Fever has got 16 seconds in arrears to switch back then. Whose tyre is also dead. Now, Zach's got to do 10 laps on a set of mediums. Now the question is, can he? Because we saw him... Well, of course he can. Yes, he can. We saw him do 11 early, didn't we then? So it is advantage switchback. He's in for his final stop. Fever will come around. He'll have the soft tyre at the end of the race, but is he going to be in a position to challenge is the question. He'll be a shorter stop. That's going to have to put more fuel in. A bit of traffic to deal with as well, maybe. This Goose has got ahead of Andy, in fact, so Andy's tyres are cooked. He's going to try to do one more lap of that tyre. He is indeed. Switchback's on his way, so it is switchback versus Fever, and the gap is only 14 seconds. I think this is Zach's to lose from here. Fever now has to light the afterburners. He's been consistent, and he's more than likely going to walk away with a P2. But is that going to be enough for a P1? Well, we shall see. Who's in third? Andy in fourth. Albie Norris in fifth there. Ooh, running a risk there right on the outside of that curb. Gets away with it though. We've gone in sixth. Again, another one who's in contention here. Now he's not got... Probably hasn't got the fuel to go to the end, but he's got the tyres. Derek is out. His final stop is done. He's out in seventh then. He's ahead of Royston, who's probably got one more stop to make. Here comes Glynn on the medium tyres. That'll be him till the end. So the final stop's coming in there. There's Johnny Boy coming out as Joe Burns wraps him up. What's Joe Burns gone on to then? He's back on the hards, interestingly. Max is having a bit of a boring race. Where is he? Here he is. Medium tyres. He's 5 seconds behind Mikey. 15 ahead of Jonesy. Jonesy's lap times have been consistent. 37, slipping back to 36 fairly regularly though, so trying to find a balance. He's got Zom just 2 seconds behind him though. So Zom's had a bit of an off night, but there's found a bit of late race pace then, back into 35s. And he's on the soft tyre now. Fever's lead, 13.3 seconds. Andy's in from fourth. So he's out for his final stop then. He'll be on the medium tyres to the end. Goose might have one more lap in these softs after this one, we shall see. Odon is in as well. Probably going to go onto the mediums to the end. Andy fuel on his way onto the mediums. And Derek then sweeps by him. So Derek is ahead. So Derek's undercut Andy there. That is a net position. They've both made their final stop then, so there's a bit of inter-team battling going on here. Derek, of course, is third in the championship at the minute. Andy a little bit further back. Well, he's still got to run the soft tyre, but he's 20 seconds ahead of those guys, and he will be quick in that final stint, so... Albie Norris is not out of this one. Goose is, his Goose is cooked. By Goose I mean tyres. So he will be in this time around then. He'll go back onto the mediums, I would imagine. As the haze descends on the circuit late on here. So the lead is coming down. Zach's just under 35.0. On the medium tyre. Fever on the medium tyre did a 36.1, so he took a second out of him on that lap. Fever will have the soft tyre in a few laps, but he'll have to make up some time getting there, so it does appear to be advantage Zach. He'll be in third. He'll have a short stop to make, then Goose is put a bit more fuel in. Medium tyres for him. He's going to come out. Where is Derek? Here he comes, and Goose is ahead and away. So that is net P4. And Nobby to pit. It's going to be close. You can imagine Goose will close him down. So Goose is probably net P3 now. This shakes out. Then Goose net P3. Derek's net P4. And he's net P5. It's where Nobby's going to filter back in when he makes his final stop for the softs. Moved on his 7th. Glenn in 8th. We've got Royston and Joe. And Johnny Boy. Just in the background as well. So he's back on the hard tyres, surprisingly. Maybe he needs to get to a lap where he can use the soft tyres. We may only see Joe do 4 laps because that Mercedes seems to be very, very hard on its tyres. Of course, he needs to do 5. He's got to do a minimum of 5 laps. So yeah, he will have to go onto the soft tyre for 5 laps. Good run on Royston then, coming out of the long left-hander. Does he go for a move into the braking zone? Not quite. Royston on very dead medium tyres. Joe on fairly new hards. You can see that Mercedes power up the hill here. It's the Stuttgart V8 against the Bavarian V6. Joe Burns having a slide there. Royston just ushering in wide. Johnny Boy is now closing in. Is Royston going to peel off this time? No, he'll do another lap. Interesting. Very interesting. That could be an interesting last lap for him then. Max Deff in 12th. Mark is in 13th. And Somla has got ahead of Josie, then Feber's in. Feber pits for his final stop. I'll do 6 laps on these soft tyres to the end. Zach has gone through. What's the gap going to be? Tank of fuel, and away he goes. Let's see then what the gap settles on. Over somewhere on the back straight before it finally settles and Fever's up to speed. Looking about 15 and a half seconds then, 15 and a half seconds. That's a big ask. So, barring any big dramas then, this is Zach's race to lose. Fever needs to make up 3 seconds a lap. I just do not think he has that much pace in him. He's a very quick driver. We all know how quick he is. It does look like Zach's strategy has been the one. He's just had the better car tonight. He's driven superbly. Albin sent on the red line of fuel. He will be in at the end of this lap. So Goose will then he'll take over P2. He's another 5 seconds back. He's got ahead of Derek. Where will Nobby Norris feed out relative to these guys? And Odon and Glynn in that window somewhere. Royston's in, Max Deff's in. Yeah, Royston got to the end of that tyre. So final stops for these guys. Johnny Boy's gone through into P10 now. And those hard tyres, but he's got no fuel left, so yeah, very much so. And again, another Herculean effort from Fever. And of course, Zach having the benefit of having had a bit of a shoddy start to the season, missed 1 week as well. So starting a little bit further forward, but I don't think even if they had been head to head, I don't think Fever could have done anything tonight about the pace of that Mazda. Switchback has been superb tonight. Comfortably got the fastest lap of the race, the only man in 33 so far. Oh, who was that? Somebody was side on there. Was it Jonesy? It is. Oh dear. Shame for Jonesy. Nobby Norris pits then from 3rd. So where does he filter back out? Reaches his pit stall in, and he's on the straight. Derek's on the straight. Odon's coming out the final corner. Fuel going in. He's on his way. He's going to come out just behind Odon, so he's P7 at the moment. He's now on the soft tyre. What has he got then for this final stint? Johnny Boy is in, Joe Burns is in. Final stops for those guys. Most of them coming around. And away they go. There goes Royston. Royston's ahead of Johnny Boy again, and these two are about to resume, but these two have been battling all for about half this race. So fair play to these two. It's like Joe Burns and Andy in the first half of the race. These two have just been inseparable for a good chunk of it. They're battling over a top 10 finish. Glyn is 29 seconds on the road then, so he is fairly comfortable in P8. So whether or not there's anything ahead of him that can be gained. Albie Norris trying to chase down Odom for P6. And there's Derek, and there's Andy a little bit further up the road. Goose now comfortably in P3. Fever has taken a couple of seconds out of switchback, but it is not nearly enough. He's into the 33s over 33.9, so two drivers have been in the 33s tonight, and they are first and second. It's again a class of the field in these long endurance races. Some good drives in there as well. It's a good drive from Goose. Get P3. He's again testing the limits. The S is there, bouncing over that curb. So we hit the wall earlier in the race. Got away with that one though. Solid drive from Andy as well. Maybe not a circuit ideally suited to that BMW. Saw him losing out to the Mercedes earlier on in the power sections. But this man's skill has guided this car into a very solid P4. Derek has driven well for P5 as well. Still keeping his teammate honest. You've got Odom not far behind, and Nobby Norris is on a charge as well. 4/10 purple on 4/10 blue on his personal, so that's a personal best from him. In sector 2, he is all over the back of Odom. Then just behind them in a bit of a lonely P8. And this battle then. While Royston's escaping at the front of it, another bunch of tools cars is closing in. Mikey is catching Joe and Johnny Boy. It's on the medium tyres, Joe on the softs, Johnny Boy on the softs, and look at how much more wear there is on that Mercedes already. Joe's just going to have to nurse those tyres. We've seen that Mercedes has chewed through the mediums. He's put quite a bit more fuel in than some of the others that we've seen. That was just that how thirsty that SLS is. So Mikey, you're going to want his traditional P11. Max Def just behind them. So there's some dramas ahead of him. So driving on the grass is not the is a bit suboptimal. We'll go to that. Well, Zach lead is down to 11.2. He's on the penultimate lap of the race. He's at turn 1. And he's lapped everybody up to P8. So yeah, we've got ninth downwards or a lap down. Looking very second hand, but he can nurse it from there. He's got 10 seconds lead. Seaver's catching this big gaggle of cars, and that's the Johnny, Joe and Mikey group. Mikey's wide, Mikey's on the grass again. That's a bit extreme way of letting Fever through. And can they gain from trying to stay on the back of Fever then? See if he can gain anything there as Joe and Johnny Boy will have to get out of the way as well. His charge has just stunted ever so slightly then onto the penultimate lap. There you go. Joe's going to have to let Fever go here and then try and stave off Mikey, which he does. However, look at that front right tyre. That tyre is done. That Mercedes is absolutely chewing its tyres up. Thankfully, having let the leaders go, he's only got one more lap to do. So, is he going to be able to hold off Mikey, whose tyres are considerably better, Nick? He really wants that P11. And Joe, you can just see the understeer to turn one, not only from the dirty air from Fever's car ahead of him, but the fact that he's got no front right tyre, and Mikey gives him the hip and shoulder. Dirty Mikey, dirty. Just pushing father of two out of the way. Disgusting behaviour. Just to take a P11. On his final lap then. 8 seconds is the advantage. He's got no front right tyre left again, but he's got plenty of gap. He's actually got plenty of tyre left then, so he could have even done another lap or so. Jones is going to let that go. Needs one less lap for him to do. Into the chicane for the final time, over the left-hander. Just to avoid spinning, Fever continues to close, but he has run out of laps into the final corner. And having won the last race of last week at Alsace, he doubles up with a victory here at Kyoto then. Switchback is your GT2 winner. Great drive then. Fever's going to cross the line then in P2. So Goose then will be P3. That's on 40 seconds back. Those front two have been absolutely dominant in the endurances once again. We saw them at, I think, Qua beating Nobby Norris by about 40 odd seconds as well. That was over a 2-minute lap. It's only 1.5, and they've done it exactly the same thing again though, but great drive from Sir Goose to get P3. Just don't spin it before you get over the line. Seems very happy with his evening work, as well he should do. It's P3 from him. That pressure I was giving him earlier has focused his mind. Well done. And he's going to cross the line then in P4. So I'm getting out of the way of his teammates. There's going to be a team photo finish there for Thomas and Mongs. And he crosses the line. Tom crosses the line. Derek gets P4. Odon just behind him in P6. Nobby Norris has run out of tyres on the final lap. Then he will hang on for P7 though, with Glyn coming home in P8. I believe he's last finished. Then Johnny gets P9. Royston gets P10. Mikey gets P11. Jerry Burns fading to P12. Max was P13. Zom P14. And Jonesy P15. And there we have it then. Switchback is your winner by 6.7 seconds in the end. After 1 hours 18 minutes worth of racing then. Fever gets P2, then coming from 15th on the grid. So Goose gets P3. So a 2-3 for Team Onlymans. Go on the boys. It's 4-5 then for Team Thomas and Mongs. And the following though Goose home, which is ahead of his teammate Derek, who just held off Odon there at the death. So 2 Auto Trader cars in top 6, 2 Thomas and Mongs, and 2 Onlymans cars then in the top 6. Nobby Norris then takes bragging rights for a bunch of tools in P7, ahead of Glyn in the third of the Onlymans cars in 8th. Then it's Johnny Boy then leading the quick fit charge in 9th. Royston coming home in P10, just ahead of Mikey in P11. Joe Burns in P12. Max was P13, Zom P14, and Jonesy P15. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your GT2 race for this evening. Thank you once again to everybody in the stream for the comments and the likes. If everyone would like the stream, please do so before you go. And if you like the racing action here from Kyoto, well, we're going to do it all again tomorrow with GT1. Please do join SBY. Here we'll guide you through the action as the GT1 boys take to the circuit here and continue their charge at the top end of the standings. Let's have a look. Let's go on GT1 because I haven't even looked at the standings for GT1 yet this week. It's tight at the top. And it's an interesting battle, and it's not the regular contenders, it's Panda who leads the way on 149 points, with Pagani in second on 140, and Biggles in third on 137 then, so they are your three championship leaders at the moment. Lennon giving chase in fourth on 116, then Aaron in fifth on 107, and Tom Duval sixth on 100. So keep an eye out for those guys tomorrow then. But 8:30 tomorrow, please join SBY for GT1. I'm going to be up north drinking rum, so I will not be there. So thank you very much to Phoebe for filling in for me. But yes, thank you for me from this evening. Thank you very much for joining us once again. Please join SBY tomorrow, and I will see you next week for round 6. But for now, thank you very much and goodbye.